Welcome back. This is part 2 of the demo restroom tracker for teachers. If you watched the first video, you found out how this works, at least enough so that you could judge whether or not you care to follow along. And so I think the best direction I can take you in this second part is to just show you how you could take this template and very quickly turn it into your own. For example, all these names would need to be student names. So you need to type those in, or there's other ways to import from like your student lists from grading software or whatever. But I may or may not show that. But you'd need to update, and this is an 8th grade tab. So there's a 7th grade tab, 6th grade tab, and if the office is going to use it, you know. Oh, and here's where I processed the names because I took them off a PDF, but I won't show that right now. Anyways, so you'd want to update all your 8th grade names here, and then your 8th grade teachers' last names. And then when you click a cell, like if Laser Beam is going to the restroom and I'm Mr. Washington, then I would click this and then click this, and it would actually send to this document. I'll explain a little bit more how this is connected to this document here. But it will submit C1, which is the teacher's last name, C2, which is where they're going, restroom, and we could make it so that all these teachers could also send them to the nurse's office. We'd have to double all this. I don't think we should do that, but I just have restroom. That's what I'm using this for. So anyways, back to looking at how the code dynamically grabs the teacher's last name, where they're going, restroom, and then A3 and B3 are the first name, last name. So I click this. Oh, and by the way, one handy feature that I think makes this, because this stuff needs to be really fast if teacher's going to use this. If it's laborious, we don't have time for it. So let's say this list of names is 130 or 200, however many students you have in 8th grade. You don't want to have to scroll down and find their name. If you just hit Control F and then write Beam, boom, it teleports you to wherever they are on the list. And then if you're Mr. Washington, you just click this cell. If you're Mr. Adams, you click this cell. If you're Mrs. Jefferson, you click this cell. So let's say, let's have Mrs. Jefferson check out Laser Beam to the restroom. You click it, it automatically records because of the way this is set up. What it did is it automatically filled in Jefferson, restroom, and whoever that was. What was it? Laser Beam. So Laser Beam got checked and it submitted it. That's the beauty of this. And you can check in the responses here because this form is connected to this Excel document. You can see now Mrs. Jefferson checked Laser Beam out to the restroom just now. So it works flawlessly and efficiently. So let's say I've got a couple here, Ronald Reagan, Jimmy Carter. I just added those, and they're not in this list. So what'll happen when you go to submit, because this is demonstrating like if you get a new student, if Mr. Washington tries to check out Jimmy Carter to the restroom, clicks this, it's going to open this form, and this is red because something is missing, you see. So to fix the problem, and this, I'm kind of the administrator of this document, so I'm the one who usually deals with this. I hit edit, say leave, and then I just add in, what was the name? Jimmy Carter. So I'll just swipe both of these. I think it's even up to Muhammad Ali. Those are some names I just kind of added in there. I'll just hit paste, and notice they're all in there. And I wonder if this space here might be a problem. It's got to be pretty much exact. So I'm going to make sure there's just one empty space between first and last, because I think that might throw an error. Okay, now I click off. And if we try it again, I can just close this. Close this. So now Jimmy Carter should work. Let's hope. Boom. And just to verify that, if we go to the responses tab, Jimmy Carter went to the restroom and it worked. But if I get a new student, new student, and I try to click on that, it's going to throw a problem at me. It's going to say, I don't know what student. So it needs to match exactly. These last names need to be spelled exactly as you see them here. And yeah, that's the way it works. So if I add in, hit edit and say leave, because right now it's holding on to these variables. I need to say leave just so we can start over. And I'll click this and add in, what was it? And I recommend just copy and paste so that you don't have any spelling issues, but then take away that extra space there, make it exact. And close it and use the restroom tracker. Now Monroe is going to check them out. Boom, works like a charm. And there you go. And these are all 8th grade teachers. So you'll see in the 8th grade tab, they're all showing up. And as days go by, this list in the all is really the only one that's being updated. These are just taking information from the all tab and displaying it out. So the way I've set out the code in here, it's going to grab stuff from today. So each day you'll see this list in the morning will go back to nothing, and then it'll update as the day goes by. This list right here will end up with thousands of entries, depending on how often it's being used. Okay, so that's how you would take this template, and let's see what the 7th grade looks like. Yeah, you'd want to, let's take a look. Quincy, let's see, Taco Crunch. I don't know if those actually exist in here. Oops, that's going to the wrong. Okay, so yeah, that gets us to the next point, is that it all starts with this form. And the way you deal with it is, because obviously I just looked at the 7th grade teacher list, Quincy, Jackson, Buren, those names aren't in here. And so that's why it would throw an error for sure. And the way to deal with it is to talk about how this is connected to that. And it's through the code right here. This piece of code is referring to that form. And then this piece of the URL is dealing with the variables that are being sent to it. So I'll talk about that in the next video. So I'll see you then.